Welcome to Downpour.com's interview series. I'm Grover Gardner, and today it's my pleasure to be speaking with Cesar Millan. Cesar is the star of National Geographic Channel's Dog Whisperer and leader of the pack. He is the most sought-after dog behaviorist in the world and is recognized for his expertise in canine psychology. He is also an author of several New York Times bestsellers, including Cesar's Way, Be the Pack Leader, and A Member of the Family. His latest book is Cesar Millan's Short Guide to a Happy Dog. Cesar is the founder of the Dog Psychology Center in Los Angeles and established the Milan Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping shelters and rescue groups. And he is the recipient of the National Humane Society Genesis Award Special Commendation. Blackstone Audio is publishing the audio version of Cesar Millan's Short Guide to a Happy Dog, narrated by Armando Duran, simultaneously with the hardcover on January 1st, 2013. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Congratulations on your new book. Can you tell us a little bit about what you cover in this book?
In 9 years doing the TV show, as I know about dogs, I also learned how people learn. I went into the world, wanted to rehabilitate dogs and find out that I needed to train people. I also learned on the way how people learn. And so you teach people everything they need to know, then you create a manual for them so they can practice on a daily basis the code or the lifestyle. I live a certain lifestyle, and this is why I'm able to do what I do with dogs. So every day I wake up in the morning and I recognize how I feel. So it's the steps that I follow. So if you follow those steps, then you can create the outcome that you want. A lot of people think that Cesar Millan has certain magic, a certain gift. Well, the gift or the magic is the lifestyle I live. So I managed to put that in a book. It's a short guide to a happy dog. But what makes a dog happy is the consistency of a human creating balance. Because a lot of times people think they're creating balance, but they skip exercise discipline. Because most of my clients still do affection. So if you become disciplined to live a harmonious, balanced life, and then you're going to achieve the outcome that you want. So a lot of people love a short manual version of what they need to do on a daily basis, like the steps. What do you do every day? Give me 10 steps. So this is what we put in the book.
How did you get started in dog psychology?
I didn't call it dog psychology in the beginning, obviously. Growing up on a farm, you learn how to be with earth. That's what you feed yourself from. And then animals also provide a relationship with you. So you learn how to be with Mother Nature. My grandfather always said, never work against Mother Nature. Always gain their trust, respect. They're going to give you a beautiful gift called loyalty. So that to us in a farm was common sense. In the city or in the modern world, it's called psychology. But to me, psychology, what it means is the logical cycle of life. So it goes back to what makes sense to a dog. So unconsciously, I grew up with a man that followed the natural way of being with Mother Nature. And then when I came to America, I saw all the differences of styles, of all techniques that people will use to relate with their dogs. But they were skipping the most important one, which is the fundamentals: trust, respect, and loyalty. That's the first thing we must learn to earn from a dog before we try to teach them something. So when a dog doesn't have trust, respect, a dog develops issues because he is confused. He lives in an environment that is affection, but there is no balance. And that's really what dog psychology means to me. How do you go back to basics? How do you reconnect to Mother Nature without trying to change nature?
How did the television show develop? When did that get started?
Before, I was called the Mexican guy who can walk a pack of dogs, and that's how L.A. pretty much knew about me. So it's a Mexican guy in South Central that walks packs of dogs off leash. And back then I walked 40 dogs off leash, Rottweiler, Pit Bulls, and German Shepherds. And of course I'm still Mexican, right? And so that's the first thing. And so the news started coming interested about this guy who walks in the streets off leash and is Mexican, Pit Bulls and Rottweilers. And they had the story of Pit Bulls being aggressive or dangerous. And then this guy is walking dogs off leash, but nobody's fighting. The LA Times came to visit me, and they followed me for 3 days. And I said, at the end of the interview, the person said, well, you got Nicolas Cage, you got Will Smith, you got the NFL, you got the NBA, you got people from England coming to see you here in South Central Los Angeles, the hood. That's a good thing, they say. You got a great thing going on. And then the next question was, what would you like to do next? And then I say, I would like to have a TV show. So she wrote it down on the newspaper. The newspaper came on a Sunday. By Monday, it was a line of producers outside my center in South Central. They wanted to know what the show was going to be about.
Were you surprised by the reception the show got?
Absolutely. I didn't realize there was going to be such a phenomenon. The show is in more than 100 countries, and everybody has the same problems: aggression, anxiety, fear, insecurities. But at the same time, they're all related. It's not the dog, it's the human. That's what they love the most. And of course, the world has learned to embrace this understanding of, okay, we're not going to kill the dog. A lot of people were euthanizing their dogs because somebody told them the best thing you can do is euthanize them, it's too aggressive and things like that. So they were actually evaluating them the wrong way. So the show not just gave an entertainment or educational aspect, it also gave hope to people. And so the way the world has actually taken this show is to heart. I go everywhere in the world and they say, you changed my life. You changed my dog life. Or they say, you saved my dog life. Just the perception that they had and the interaction with the dog, and they were now making sure the dog's happiness was in place. And that's what they love. I put the responsibility on the human, which that's exactly what it should be.
What is it between people and dogs? Why do we devote so much time to them? They're a very special pet. Cat people, dog people. So, for many people, dogs are such extraordinary partners. What's the connection between our species?
Because the dogs are masters in fulfilling your needs. And they know what you need. And they know when you're sad. And they're so unconditional about it. And they're not asking anything in return. We love the genuine side of them. We love the unconditional side of them. We know that they will die for our relationship. And we know that it's not about the money. It's about the internal relationship that every human being seeks in another human. But unfortunately, humans are not as in tune as a dog is. I always say my clients are Harvard graduates, but they can't walk a Chihuahua. That's a true thing. So they're very smart, but they can't have a relationship. And a human looks for a relationship as well as he looks for other things in life. But what creates happiness is harmony and balance in your life. And a dog is capable to give you that access to that simplicity.
How has all of this affected your own life?
Well, good and bad. Obviously, you're not prepared for the downs. Everybody knows how to be in the ups, but definitely everybody knows that downs is what teaches you about life, gives you wisdom. I always keep in mind that the mission is not about me, it's about what can I do for the world. I really embrace the concept of Gandhi, the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way these animals are treated. I feel that if this message is delivered around the world, it's going to make a big transformation in humanity because we take in consideration every member of society. And like you say, dogs are very endearing to most humans. The cat is a endearing species, but the dog is capable to become more family member since the cat is programmed differently. And so to me, that is one of the biggest mission in life. And that's really when I'm in a down time, that's what inspires me and motivates me to get up. But you get the goods and the bad. That's the whole point of life, that you learn to manage all of them and you pass the wisdom to somebody else.
Do you work with shelters? Because you talked about how we treat our animals. We've adopted 2 dogs from shelters, and boy, it's kind of overwhelming when you go there. What can we do in America to try to get the stray pet thing under control, do you think?
Well, the most humane way how not to kill a dog is spay and neuter. That would be ideal for us to understand and really embrace the concept of it, because what we need to know is how many dogs we kill in the United States of America. Well, the number is 4 to 5 million pets, and that includes cats. So why 4 to 5 million every year? Why this society that loves dogs so much also has a huge amount of animals that are going to be put down on a yearly basis? And so the consciousness of the whole country have to become a priority. And it's still in people's mind, and this is not just in certain cultures, but among all of us as an American citizen, we don't agree at a large number on spay and neuter. That's the most humane way how not to kill a dog. And so Bob Barker was so ahead of his time, was saying spay and neuter, but it hasn't become as fashionable. It's something that is on a daily basis in people's life. And that's why I created a Mardi Gras curriculum with Yale University. So kids at an early age in preschool and kindergarten understand why it's so important. spay and neuter? Why it's so important to go and rescue and adopt a dog instead of purchasing a dog? Why that should be priority number one, how you make a difference as an individual. Because most of the time when people purchase a dog, it's a status symbol. It's like, I wanted a German Shepherd since I was little because they told me they're very smart. But it's not the breed that's smart. It's not the breed that is loyal. It's the dog in him, you know? And so we have to learn to love the dog so we can then help all of them. Otherwise, people become very breed-oriented. Pit bulls are bad, but the rest of them are good. So that's a really big misunderstanding. It's not the breed. And no dog's born to be dangerous. It's how you treat them, how you make them become balanced.
What's next?
Oh, man, there's so many things that are next. Right after the situation in my life, I decided that I was going to claim life again. And there's so many opportunities. The new TV show, Leader of the Pack, when they asked me, so you ended 9 years of Dog Whisper, very successful show, 9 years, that's a long time in television. And I said, you know what? That show had passion. I love what I do, and I will change it for the world. But I was looking for a mission. Things that inspire and motivate your life is something that I seek all the time. Otherwise, you get bored and you get depressed, even though you have achieved something. But I wanted a mission. And so as I travel the world, I learned that it's not 45 million dogs that will die every year. It's 600 million. So around the world, 600 million pets will die every year. And in some parts of the world, the way they euthanize them is they hang them, or they throw them from a bridge, or they shoot them, or they drown them, or they throw them in a boxes full of puppies in a river. And so that's my mission. I'm going to change that. And that's why I felt the Leader of the Pack. It was the next step for me. It's a show with a mission. I changed relationship, but this show is going to save lives. And that's something that I'm very, very happy about it. My son, Calvin, who's 14, he's also going to have his own TV show. He's going to focus on prevention. He calls himself the Puppy Whisperer. And I'm very proud that he wants to make a difference at such an early time of his life. So we have magazine, we have a book, we have many TV shows that people want to do with us. But to me, it's all about how can we make a difference at the same time. Obviously, television, you need to have a factor of entertainment. Otherwise, people change the channel.
This is fantastic. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We're looking forward to the new book and the audio version from Blackstone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this exclusive interview with Cesar Millan. You can find Cesar Millan's Short Guide to a Happy Dog and all of Blackstone Audio's titles at downpour.com.